The use of animals such as dogs in interviews and following sexual assault in children.
We're really interested in pediatrics, and so we wanted to see if there was a correlation between using dogs in therapy for children and whether or not it had benefits for children who've experienced traumatic things such as child sexual abuse. Basically, I was focusing with my study on the outcomes later on for children, because yes, they have symptoms right after, but nobody really thinks about what their life is going to be like 30 years down the road. People still have post-traumatic stress disorder down the road. Now, if we can nip it in the bud by using animals and stories and different things in their therapy tactics, it could really make strides for our patients, our future patients.
I think it's just a great way to show our hard work and what we are passionate about, and us being nursing students, it's a great way to show how we can make a difference in looking into different studies of how we can provide better care for our patients.
For Scholars Day, we studied catheter-associated urinary tract infections, primarily in patients that are in the hospital. So what we did was we looked at several different studies and compared them, and most of them were, well, actually all of them involved nurse-driven protocols in order to reduce the infection rates within the hospital. It's the second leading cause of infection in the hospital, so we thought it was a good thing to review.
We face it every day in the hospital, and so that's one of the reasons why we chose it. I work on the orthopedic floor at St. Francis, so we deal with this a lot because a lot of our patients actually have catheters. So if we can prevent catheter-acquired urinary tract infections, that'd be great.
But it was enjoyable. It was fun. I think we both learned a decent amount about catheter-associated UTIs.
Our presentation was over immunizations in children and the information parents receive prior to deciding whether or not they want to give immunizations to their toddler children or school-age children, and what influences they are receiving. We all decided cumulatively, because it was a pretty hot topic right now in the news media and on the internet, that giving childhood immunizations can lead to certain diseases such as autism is a big debate. We wanted to kind of get to the truth. We found that it was partially the parents and partially the healthcare providers, leading to the parents' overall decision and why they were choosing not to give their child these early childhood immunizations.
Look at whether animal-assisted therapy could help improve cognitive and behavioral functions, increase the level of social engagement among nursing home members who have dementia, and whether it could prolong the disease process instead of worsening the symptoms. And so we found that pet therapy does help with prolonging the disease process and increase engagement, as well as decrease agitation and negative behavioral functions. I think it's very cool to see all my peers come together and talk about the research and studies that they've done for the whole semester or even the whole year.
I think it definitely helps bring things together. I mean, we learn about PICO questions, QSIN, studies, in our research classes, but to actually, put a poster together and look through and do everything, it kind of just brings everything together.